When I woke up this morning, I didn't think that I was going to film today. That is until I looked at my YouTube studio and noticed that ciri Projekt put out a new video going through the behind the scenes of the cinematic trailer for The Witcher 4 that we saw in December. And so here we are, super unkempt, if I may say so myself, but that's fine. Everyone says that death dogs Geralt's footsteps. Well, I dog the footsteps of The Witcher 4 development, though I do have a feeling that I'm forgetting something. All right, now I think that we're ready.
I felt that this is the moment to tell the story with Siri.
She's been through a lot. She has a strong moral compass, I would say, and she can use these emotions to act.
Okay, I'm very happy that they said that because that's exactly what I was saying during the entire trailer, that's kind of what separates Siri from Geralt. Geralt, you know, he's older, he's wiser, he's more reserved, and Siri is much more spontaneous. We see that all the way from when we meet her as a child to a young adult in The Witcher 3. So I assume that since this is such a core part of her personality, it will continue being.
Ciri is all about becoming the Witcher, and she is very determined to follow this path.
So I have a question about that, actually. I just finished The Sword of Destiny, and my Witcher 2 summary video is in the works, I promise. And on this reread, I caught this passage that I think is very interesting. It's an interaction between Calanthe and Geralt after he waits 6 years before going back to Sintra to collect Ciri, and then ultimately he walks away without her. Calanthe starts talking about different changes that little boys go under to become witchers, and she's talking about the trial of the grasses, the choice, the changes, the mutations, and she concludes that perhaps even 1 in 10, 1 in 20 boys actually make it to the point of getting their medallion and swords, because the trials are only one segment of the entire process. And then she calls out Geralt about the concept of the law of surprise. Since Geralt doesn't believe in destiny, Calanthe calls him out and says, well, what's the point of taking my grandchild? Do you believe that such a child of destiny would survive the trials better? And Geralt says, no, we believe that a child of destiny would not have to take the trials. So that kind of raises my question of, well then, why does Ciri, who is a child of destiny, she's referred to her witcheress all the way from Blood of Elves, where it's literally on the back cover. And so I'm kind of curious why, but I have hopes that they give us an interesting story. That's what I'm here for, and I have faith in ciri Projekt.
The very first meeting with CDPR, I saw like how much you want to ground this story in the past, at the same time giving a start to a new saga.
That's exactly what I was saying.
In the story that Mjolnir and Ciri are a little bit mirrors of each other. The traditions of Stromford essentially mean that Mjolnir has to be sacrificed. That's her destiny, and she accepted that destiny. Ciri is known as someone who does not accept destiny. She fights back at it.
Siri was exactly feeling what Mjolnir could feel. Even just looking at her, hearing, her voice trembling when she goes, I shall be, the bringer of salvation. And you can hear that there is a duty in that. There is something you grew up with. There's something you should do, but like deep inside, you know that this is bad. So they have a very brief interaction in the woods when she says like, save yourself, right? That this
I'm
is
so glad
that
that he's saying this,
your
because
older
that's
sister would say, your
yeah,
friend,
that's Ciri to
someone
a core,
close
I
to you.
think.
Just from this brief interaction, she can exactly know what she is feeling, and she's like, your life is more important than those stupid superstition that your village grew up with. One of the really important things was for the viewers to feel as Ciri would feel, so you could see how the story unfolds together with her and get the same emotional flow as she would get as she was trying to fix the issue of the village. The way she kills the monster, the way she reacts to the people killing Mjolnir.
No one can tell me that Ciri is ugly. I'm so sorry. I think, it's like I said, lighting does wonders for how you appear. I'm sure that right now I don't look as good as I tried to look in videos just because, I wasn't prepared to do my makeup. I didn't set up my lights. I'm still learning how to set up my new lights. And right now we get a more clear picture of Siri, I think, and of the model just in general, without the high contrast kind of between one side of the face, the other side of the face. She has a neutral expression. And so, guys, if you think she's ugly, there's no hope for us. There's no hope for us. Are you kidding me? Wait, I missed something.
See how
I'm
the
so
story
sorry.
unfolds together with her and get the same emotional flow as she would get as she was trying to fix the issue of the village. The way she kills the monster, the way she reacts to the people killing Mayoni, it's different than what Geralt would do. She lives through these emotions, she's connected
Yeah.
with herself.
That's exactly what I was saying in the trailer, that it's different. Like, this shows the contrast to Geralt. It shows that she's less experienced, and but at the same time that she's Geralt's daughter. So yeah, I think that's I feel reassured so far.
All we wanted. We're to go to the woods, to go to the garden.
We always try to walk around Slavic style and be coherent with Sapkowski's
God.
book. I believe the style for characters, faces, hairstyles, you can find this kind of faces somewhere in the villages there and there. That's why it's very important to see the range of possibilities in the whole Central Europe.
Oh, Central Europe. Thank you. I know it said Eastern over there, and this is something that I'm such a stickler for, but, you know, when we think about Slavs and they're pulling from the Slavic culture, then, yeah, I'm totally fine with that being referred to as Eastern Europe, just because a bunch of Slavs did go east, and, you know, if we separate Europe into Western and Eastern, then, yeah, but then he says Central Europe, so I'm like, hell yeah, okay.
Just the ambiguity of the whole story itself, I think it also plays very much to the way Sapkowski was crafting his Witcher stories. And it's also very in our Eastern European mentality, that like those shades of gray everywhere and not clear choices and the famous lesser evil.
You know, in the words of a certain Witcher, złoto zło, strego Boże, większe, mniejsze, pośrednie, something, something. I don't remember the rest of the quote, but evil is evil, strigobor, greater, lesser, middling.
It was a huge project. From the beginning, from the story that we created with our director and with CDPR team, and then the huge mock-up session. It lasted for like 14 days. A lot of people were engaged, and I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't be this amazing if we hadn't had such an amazing crew.
That's something that always cracks me up, just imagining all these like crazy CGI battles and stuff,
We want you as
and
a
they're fighting
viewer
like a
to
tennis ball or
get
something.
really
I
into
love
this
that.
world, to get close to these characters, to understand what they're going through, because this world is brutal, it's visceral, it's grounded, and we want you to feel it.
The whole idea for the trailer was that we want to have natural looking camera, not artificial one, not CGI. That's why we decided to record all those virtual cameras on stage and then later use it.
In a trailer, for example, when you see Siri, when she enters the fog, you can see that she's confused, that she doesn't know where to look, that the camera is more aggressive with motion, and we wanted to express more of this confusion. We wanted to have this glimpse of truth in it.
But also there are scenes when magic happens, and then we want to switch from those handheld cameras to more like creative one.
The style completely changes, so we go with cranes now, we go with dollies.
That was quite a lot of work to animate them properly and have this magical feeling to them. And they are no longer handheld, they are all created by the animators. There are these nuances that we really want to take care of and to make it feel really like a movie.
We organized 3 shooting days with rented movie gear. We had lenses that we picked before, and
Yeah,
we
I think
gathered
they
lots
managed
and
to
lots
make it
of
feel
shots with
cinematic.
different features on it, like distortions, lens flares, bloom, how the bokeh behaves. Based on that, we could really create digital representation of those lenses, gathering all those features so we can really have something unique, and I'm pretty glad about it, because this was something I think pretty extraordinary in a gaming engine.
I love that we're getting to see this glimpse into the behind the scenes, because I feel like we don't get to see that too often, and oh man, even like the real world footage that they captured, just it looks so good. They get the culture, and I love that that's such a big emphasis, because Yeah, it's what makes this feel like home to me.
My favorite part is the beginning, essentially. It's where we parallel the traditional preparations that Mione goes through and then the Witcher preparations that Ciri goes through.
For the Mione, we added more pleasure to eye color palette and a bit warmer. But for the Siri, we set up our environment darker and more moody. We wanted to create a bit more mysterious mood, which allows us to create more dense atmosphere and bring to the table a bit different story, because at the end, both of characters having a unique story behind preparation.
Ciri is watching Jivan saying goodbye to Mione, saying about destiny, saying that she was kind of born almost, meant
And
to
does that
make
sound
it,
familiar?
Like, kind of save them.
Does that sound familiar?
It's important for us to actually write this monologue in a way that Geralt could have said that about Ciri as well.
Oh my god, exactly. Okay.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child into a remarkably young lass with much grace, wisdom, and kindness.
That makes me emotional because this is also something that she was fighting her entire life. Almost all the time, someone wanted something from her.
Oh my god, wait, I just realized that Sebastian Kalemba, he is wearing the Lynx school medallion, I believe, because it doesn't look like the cat school, so...
Created a physical representation of Bauk's shoulders and his attacking arms, and having 4 operators, we kind of recreated the whole monster. On the screen, we saw in real time a moving bow. We created Witcher-style sequence, just practice it a couple times. We practiced how to move the bow, how to synchronize, and it worked beautifully.
I love the pirouettes. And you know who else does? Geralt. That's something that I really loved, and I said this in my reaction, that there are all these little callbacks to Geralt's fight style. And
when it comes to cooperation, like from the animation perspective, we did start with animation guideline for the Bauk. I've known Bauk for a while, and I kind of found a way to divide him into 3 specific parts. So when it comes to the head, for us, it's kind of like a goblin head on a neck of a snake. The front arms are as similar to jaguar as possible, while the pincers are literally scorpion claws, and the tail and the back legs are literally dinosaurs. And because of that, we're able to actually create this kind of animation Bible for the Bauk. And then it kind of allowed us to really quickly build this common language to make sure that what we animate at CD Projekt is actually as close as possible to what you see in the trailer.
Journey with Unreal Engine was wonderful. We were able to have much more tries and instant preview and much more iterations to get to the proper final result.
She wants to go to the woods. The chosen one. It's tradition.
Well, the first thing that puts a smile on my face is the runtime, of course. I'm really glad we could pull up 6 minutes so that even if you don't know anything about The Witcher, you can just play it, watch it, and it's a short story that's understandable from the start to finish. I love the slow burn, which is something very unique for a game trailer, I would say.
oh, it's interesting that they were having her old hairstyle in the drawings, I guess.
Every movie that we do, our goal is to have the best knowledge of the IP, to stay true to the IP, to understand the vision of the developers, also the purpose of the asset that we're creating. Knowing the Witcher universe inside out is a key to do something that feels equally original as well as true to its foundation.
This trailer is an adaptation of a story that we actually want to tell in the game. We're not going to give you a black or white situation. We expect you to consider some situations, make some tough choices, and as an example, that situation that may happen after the trailer is over is such a tough choice.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
All right, so what were my reactions? Well, I don't think that we learned too much else about The Witcher 4 that we didn't know from the trailer, but it's so fun to get this behind the scenes glance, and yeah, it just makes me very happy hearing that they are trying to stay true to the culture, to Sapkowski's work. I obviously have the question of why is Siri a Witcher, but in case you missed it, actually Philipp Weber, who you saw in this video, commented on my video. Crazy. And he said that why she is a Witcher, why she would want to be a Witcher, and people's reaction to it will be a big part of The Witcher 4. And so just knowing that this is something that they are actively thinking about and incorporating into the story, that they're not just glossing over it, really reassures me. I mean, I'm a fan. Take away everything else that I'm a Witcher fan. So I'm really keeping my fingers crossed. I do also kind of wonder if perhaps part of the reason that they released this was to some extent for damage control, because some people had very negative reactions to this trailer. Like there was the entire like ugly Siri debate, and now that, you know, we had the 2 close-ups on her face in to just the character model, you know, in pretty neutral lighting, I think, you know, that was kind of to try to perhaps in part quiet down that criticism, to kind of show them like, no, she's fine. It's the same Siri that we know and love. And the fact that they keep saying that they're focusing on the lore and Sapkowski, it just, I think that's also to reassure people like myself that really love the source material. And yeah, overall, I think this was a very interesting look behind the scenes. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments, and hopefully you enjoyed this reaction video. I know it's quite different than the videos I usually make. So anyways, that's all for me. The next time you'll be seeing me is either the Vera and Reverie or The Witcher Summary Part 2. So without any further ado, I'll see you then. Bye-bye!